Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So this week we heard the announcement that The Flash, Barry Allen from the CW show The Flash, was in actuality, after all the rumors and all the speculation and all the hoping and praying and desiring that it might actually happen, is in fact coming to CBS's Supergirl, where we see our favorite Maid of Might flying around on a daily basis, fighting aliens and metahumans and all kinds of different things. They don't call them metas on there, but different villains are on there. You got Bizarro on there, the Bizarro Supergirl, but a little more bizarre. You got Livewire, they do Toyman. They don't shy away from having supervillains, people with powers, aliens. You got the Department of Extra-Normal Affairs, or whatever the heck they are. Hank Henshaw, who is Martian Manhunter himself. So the question then is, and I've heard people asking about this now that The Flash has been announced as guest starring on an episode called World's Finest, where in a play on the words of the famous comic book that usually stars Batman and Superman, but occasionally has guest appearances by other heroes, we're going to see Supergirl and The Flash meet up on television, which is very, very exciting. I'm excited about it. The question is, and what I've heard fans saying is, how can The Flash, or Arrow, or presumably The Flash and Arrow, since they've both crossed over onto each other's shows and exist in the same world and in the same universe, how can they exist in the same universe as Kara does, when Kara is Supergirl and she has the ability to zip over there and stop any of these horrible disasters within seconds? She can stop Captain Cold, she can stop Zoom, she can go to Star City and she can stop any of the villains that have come there, the League of Shadows, the people assassinating people, Ra's al Ghul, when everybody was poisoning the city, when the city was blowing up at the end of Season 1. Now, Supergirl hadn't arrived yet, so the argument could be when some of the worst disasters in Star City happened, Supergirl wasn't here yet. But then you gotta go, but Superman was. Superman is well established, has fought Reactron multiple times, is 10 years or more into his career. He was Superman when he found Kara when she first arrived and took her to the Danverses, so that means he's well into his aged years as Superman, so he would have been around when Star City was under attack. So this is where the dilemma is. This is where the plot holes start to pop up. And you go, what was Superman doing when an entire city was being poisoned? Why wouldn't Ollie call him when possibly his best friend could be killed? Or when he needed to go to Nanda Parbat and fall off a mountain and die and then be brought back to life somehow. That's never been explained anyway. Where was Superman when all of that could have been handled within seconds? And the counter-argument to that is, for years and years and years, comics have been going on, and Batman has dilemmas in his own city where he fights Clayface. Robin has died multiple times, and Superman wasn't there to stop that from happening. Superman himself has died, and no other heroes were able to stop that from happening. Other heroes have died. Flashes have died. Supergirl died during the Crisis Era along with the Flash, and Superman wasn't able to stop that either. Superman can't be everywhere all of the time and can't stop everything from happening, so I guess the argument then is he was busy. He was off planet. He was doing something else when that was going on. The problem there is that it starts to become kind of hard to buy after the 10th time, the 11th time, the 12th time. Okay, maybe he wasn't there when the worst disaster happened, but what about the second worst disaster, the third worst disaster? Or when a cat gets stuck in a tree in Star City, where is he? Okay, I know, Metropolis is really busy, he's got a lot of stuff going on, but we're talking about Supergirl, since the Flash is crossing over. Why doesn't Supergirl go to Central City and help Barry out? Or why wouldn't she be there? Well, one problem I've had with the Supergirl show, and there are very few problems, I love the show. It's feel-good, it's inspirational, it's uplifting, it's got emotions in it, great character in it. It's just really, really great family fun. The one problem I do have, though, is at the beginning of every episode, they play that little montage like they do on Arrow. There's no real theme song where she tells you who she is. I'm from Krypton, and my planet exploded, and I came here to protect my cousin, but now my cousin's bigger than me, so blah, blah, blah. But what she says in that little voiceover that bothers me is, I'm going to protect my city and the people in it from anyone who would do my city harm. I've always thought of Superman, and by proxy then Supergirl, as people who were worldly, who had such power and such desire to do right and to help people that they would go around and protect the world, not just say, well, I'm going to stay in this little small area and only protect Metropolis or only protect National City. I guess the argument there could be it's first season, she's young, she's only just starting doing this, so she's sticking to her area for right now. But if anything really major would happen, she'd go out and maybe do something in the world. But then you have to counter-argue, but Superman doesn't do that. Things are happening in National City, in Central City, in Arrow City, Star City, and he doesn't show up to those events. And I know Supergirl called him and said, hey, don't bother me, I can handle this myself, which is just kind of selfish and dumb on her part, since two Kryptonians would be better than one, and now she's going to face off against all these other Kryptonians. Absolutely, Superman would be involved, but I know we're having a show that's about one character, and you got to showcase her, and they made a big deal over the first couple of episodes, though they backed off from it now, where she kept saying, this is my story, my story, my story, I'm the one, I don't need him, I don't need him, I don't need help. So I get it, and that's the dilemma when you try to do mixed universes. I said the same thing about the Marvel Universe. Where were all of the Avengers when Tony Stark's home was being destroyed in Iron Man 3? Where, you know, when everybody was shooting at him and the thing was falling apart and then everyone thought he was dead. None of the Avengers were around. And most of the time, they don't really give an explanation as to why Superman can't show up in everybody's comic book and end everything. We just know from a story standpoint, if we want to see stories about the other characters, then all of the other heroes can't always be present in every story. Tell me what you think. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.